see kind of young filmmakers doing it for the first time, something rad.
Yeah.
And I saw this beautiful film, Thunder Road, that you starred in, that you directed, that you wrote, that you did everything for, and it was one of the most well-received out of the entire shorts program.
Thank you.
Congrats, man.
Thank you so much, dude. That means a lot.
And now this is a guy, how many times had you submitted to Sundance before you finally got in this year?
I guess we submitted probably 5 or 6 or maybe 7 different features and shorts that we've been working on for the last couple of years. We never got in, and I was always a producer. I started as a producer, and then this year I had a whim. I never thought I'd get in.
Screw it, I'm gonna do it all myself.
Yeah, seriously. I've been making movies with people for so long, and then I was like, I don't know if I can do it, and I was like, just let me do it. Screw it. I'll make a movie myself. And that's what happened. And I submitted it, and it was like 5 days before the deadline that we shot, and I was like, I don't know if we'll ever get in. So I submitted this it was just the take because it's all one shot. There's no editing. I just submitted that take, and I got in, and I'm the luckiest dude in the world.
Tell everybody what the movie's about.
So it's a police officer eulogizing his mom at a funeral. And it's this really heartbreaking monologue, but his mother was a dancer, and so he does this choreographed dance to a Bruce Springsteen song, and it's humiliating and really sad and heartbreaking, but also hilarious, and it's a weird little movie, and it's all one shot.
It reminded me a little bit, because he's definitely awkward when he's up there.
Yeah.
And it reminded me a little bit of, remember the Napoleon Dynamite dance scene?
Totally, yeah, totally. In fact, when I was writing it, I was talking to people and they were like, oh, so it's gonna be like Napoleon Dynamite. And I realized after making it, everybody has reached out with all of these other movies that have awesome dance numbers in it. And it's just great. And now I'm the dance guy, even though I'd never danced before, you know?
You shot it all in one shot, 13, 15 minutes-ish?
Yeah, it's 13 minutes.
Kind of take me into doing that. How many takes did you do? How'd you pull it off?
So we did 8 takes. 2 of them were cut short because I laughed. And I
Which
laughed.
your crew hates you for.
Yeah, oh my God. It was we get through 6 or 7 minutes, and then it's like, all right, Jim, laugh, we can't do it. And then the 6th one is the one that we used, but we had to do these breaks in between because I had to get ready to cry, and so I had my iPad and I was watching stuff from Inside Out and Toy Story 3 and Summer Heights High to cry and get ready to cry, and it was so funny. We would do these full long takes, just a play in the middle of this church, and then I would just go away by myself with my headphones and watch something, and then come back and be I'm ready.
You really did cry.
Yeah,
Those legit tears.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
dude, that's to do that on command. It's one thing as an actor just to do that, but to actually, this is your entire production. This is you.
Yeah.
And doing that, that's impressive.
It was really funny. And the fact that it's a joke, putting in all of that effort to make people laugh.
Right, because it is a comedy at the end of the day. It's super rad.
The saddest comedy ever, yeah.
How did you fund it? How do you get the money? How do you rally the troops, ask the favors, get some cash? How does that work? I think a lot of young filmmakers, they get caught up in I don't have the money for this.
So yeah, we shot it. I was shooting a feature, and people were Cretia was this movie that went to Cannes, and I was an associate producer on that. And the DP I met in southern France, and he moved to LA, and I was like, oh man, I would love to make something with him. And then that was during the process of writing it, and I was like, he would be great for this. But yeah, I was working at College Humor, and I had $2,000 or $3,000 savings, just so that I could use to make this project. And then I'd gone through a divorce a year and a half earlier, and I still had our wedding rings lying around, and so I sold them to fund the movie.
Yes! You took your wedding rings, you pawned them for some cash, and you helped fund this movie.
Yeah.
That is so killer. That's great.
And
you took sadness, you're like, no, I'm going to use this to something positive.
Something permanent, yeah.
That's so sweet, man.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Thank you.
Man, Jim Cummings, he has a short that's at the Sundance Film Festival called Thunder Road. It's really good. When I caught the screening yesterday, it must have freaked you out a little bit that Jason Reitman also had a short in your same group.
Yeah, it was pretty terrifying.
Is that good or bad? Or you're like, okay, I'm pumped that he's there because that means it's going to bring extra eyeballs. but I'm not pumped that he's there because he's going to probably bring something amazing.
Yeah.
What were your thoughts when you first saw that you were paired with Jason Reitman?
Terror. That was I don't know. I'm a huge fan of his work, and obviously he's doing nothing but cool stuff. And he was just so cool at the Q&A. Instead of talking about his movie, he was just like, "Hey, I mean, you guys know who I am. I just loved all of these shorts, and like, you're so cool." And I had a short. My first short here was 19 years ago.
Yeah.
And seeing all of you, and he was like so thankful that we were.
That's
paired
what
together.
was wild, is that I think he said, my first short debuted in this very room.
In the same room, yeah.
15 years ago.
Yeah, isn't
or
that
however
insane?
long. Yeah, and
crazy.
here he is again. I think he had like a comedy short that
Roast
he
battle.
did. That's right, roast battle. Did you get a chance to talk to him at all or say what's up? Or?
I'm so weird with that stuff. I don't know. Like even like I can talk to strangers on the street, but seeing like a hero of mine, it's like I'm always so nervous because they probably get it all the time. And then I'm always like scared because I see people that go up and do it and they have good conversations with them, and I'm like, oh well, I should just do that. I should just.
But he gets it too. Like he was you 15 years ago.
That's true. That was cool. So when I was in LA, I met up. I sent it to the Duplass brothers. This was like right after he got into Sundance, because Mark is a huge inspiration to me. He's always saying make movies that you can make, and I really think he's onto something in the future of American movie making. I mean, he is American movie making right now, independently. But he was like, it's so weird to look at you. You're 29 years old and you're going to Sundance for the first time with a short. He's like, I did that 13 years ago. And like, it's like looking at the Ghost of Christmas Past or something. And I was like, and we're from the same hometown. So I was like, hell yeah, dude. Like,
well, speaking of Duplass, the brothers, and just kind of the future of filmmaking, what are trends that you're seeing right now? Like, you're right in the thick. How old are you?
I'm 29.
So you're 29. You're right in the thick of it. You get your first short in, and now I'm sure your mind's already like, what's next? So like, how do you want to tell stories in a different way? How is the industry evolving? Like for you, what's the next way you're going to tell your next story?
I think I want to shoot big features. I really think I'm decent at making people laugh and cry, and so I want to make this kid's adventure movie. I think the future of filmmaking, especially independent filmmaking, are Trojan horses, like movies that are disguised as a genre movie, like a kid's adventure movie or a horror movie, but they bring better content to people that are already paying for the same product.
Yeah.
And I think that because kids' adventure movies have such a large audience anyway, all it would take is us making something for, I mean, what, a hundredth of what it would cost for a Disney movie to be made, and you can get the same audience and make something moving and beautiful.
Sweet, man. Are you ready for the final five?
Let's do it.
All right, the final five. These are the last final five questions.
Uh-oh, here we go.
Of the interview, okay? Number 5. When you need uninterrupted creativity, like you need to go into a creative bubble, something to really get the juices flowing, what do you do?
Oof. I actually run on the treadmill.
Oh,
Because
exercise.
yeah.
Okay.
Sick.
Nice. That was a good throw. I've been losing my cars. I keep having to make new ones because they go rogue, and then we can't find them.
You're going to hit somebody over here.
I've definitely,
Put out an eye.
take out an eye. Number 4.
Here we go.
Are you more productive staying up late or getting up early?
Up late, no question.
No
Up
question.
late, yeah. The best writing that I do is between midnight and 3 a.m.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. I think it's because I'm like manic at that time period, and like I listen to music, and it's
Number 3.
What you got?
What's a creative killer? Something you have to avoid at all costs, or it's gonna mess up your vibe.
I'm gonna give you the joke answer. Girlfriends? No.
No, that's the real answer. When you're in a relationship, you can't get anything done.
That's
because you're trying to Netflix and chill.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
No, I would say discouragement. Being around discouraging people.
It's interesting you say that. That has been pretty much right, Karen. The common thread. Everyone's like just negative people.
Yeah. Or people saying you can't do that. And I hear that from people like big people, studios, and they're like, hey, you just made a short, you should focus on a smaller feature. And I'm like, okay, cool. That doesn't mean I can't do it. It means I can't do it with you. I'll see you later.
Number 2, when you're making a film, what's your biggest fear while you're making it?
Oh. I think the biggest fear is that it's all put together, like everybody's coming to this thing. It's always 2 hours before the shoot. I'm like panic attacking and throwing up and really nervous because it's like you plan all this stuff and you never know if anybody's gonna show up or if the movie's gonna be good. That's the biggest fear, that time period, the blank page before you make the movie.
Finally, what's a topic in 2016 that should be covered? What's a story that needs to be told this year?
Oh man, that's so tough. I mean, the internet and like how everybody's connected and still not connected. I think that's the biggest one right now.
This is Jim Cummings, buddy. It's time for bed.
Yeah, let's get some sleep.
See you, buddy.